the call, and we'll get going shortly. Hey guys.
Hello, welcome.
Hello, everybody.
That was a message from our sponsor. I don't know who they are, but they just pay us big money to put their commercial on their ad on our Q&A. So hey, anyone else want to sponsor here, we can gladly talk about it.
They seem like great people.
Mm-hmm.
They're okay.
They do.
They're approachable.
Yeah, it really is. Alrighty, so it is 7:01, and that means we start on time.
Woo! General Q&A tonight.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ask us anything and get the honest answer, right?
Yeah, as well as we can answer it for you.
Yeah, if we can't, then we're going to ask for your email address and we're going to get you the answer. But what we won't do is tell you to go pay for the answer. Okay, so anyhow, so Megan, do you want to start? I'm just going to go along with our website. You guys, we're not going to get into detail who our company is because we showed you the intro video, so you should be able to see that. Oscar's a little off.
It's my face.
There we go.
Yeah, so a quick intro. We are Retire in Panama Tours and Panama Expat Service. So
retire or move to Panama.
Yeah, our big products are amazing 7-day relocation tour across Panama, as well as our 3-day tour of the Cherokee Highlands. We also do private tours, and we offer a la carte services too for just expat services when you're moving here, things you might need help with. And this is the team here. I'm Megan. I'm from Pennsylvania. I came here with the Peace Corps back in 2018 and fell in love with Panama. I did the tours with Oscar for a while too, but now we have our little 2-year-old, so I spend more time at home and I run a lot of the operations and logistics of the tours, and still love to meet our tour groups when they come. We just had an awesome tour group come through this past week. We just sent them on their way this morning, and I got to spend the last 2 days here with them in Boquete. And it's so fun seeing everyone explore this new journey and new chapter for themselves in retirement, or really in any time of their lives, to check out a different place with better cost of living, better for what we think is just a better quality of life, honestly. And we can get more into that in the Q&A.
Yeah, I'm Oscar. I'm originally from Cali, Colombia, and well, you couldn't say anything better about what we do. We're very proud of our product, and also the follow-up after the tours. We try to do always our best to making sure we grab your hand through the process with all the professional experts that we got to connect with to make the transition faster, safer, and also like to avoid any hiccups like trying to deal any situation that you might, get no safe process. Either you're renting, you're buying, or you're getting your immigration's status. I've been here in Panama for over 15 years. I have a background in hotel and tourism management, hospitality, and yeah, I've been here in Boquete the whole time, but I'm moving all around Panama. Love this country. And Panama is not just for people that want to retire. Panama is for any other person that wants to start fresh, maybe see a new beginning, young families. Like myself and Megan, we're raising a family here in Panama. We're dealing with schools, all the process, all the little things that takes to raise a family, and especially if you don't have your main family like your parents or uncles, anybody here in the country. But it's a beautiful country to raise kids, and it's a very safe place as well. Mhm.
Right on. My name is Rod. I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and in 4 days I will have been here 13 years.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
we're gonna have to throw an anniversary party.
Yeah.
So yeah, I came on the 21st of October. So, anyways, I'm the guy that came here not knowing anybody, not taking any advice, packing 2 suitcases and arriving in Panama. And yeah, do you mind closing the blind? Yeah, thank you. And it didn't work out for me. But luckily, I met this guy within 3 months of me moving here. And Oscar, like you said, had already been here several years, and he was already helping expats move to Panama. And so Oscar helped me, number one, get my immigration for a tenth of the cost that another lawyer told me I had to pay, get a vehicle that I had a problem with in my name, and get health insurance, get places to live, get like this on and on and on. And then we became business partners very shortly after that. And here we are today. We came up with this idea to do this tour in 2017 to start doing group tours, because we were just doing individual private tours before that. But we, our group, our company is quite unique. We are small group tours. We do 8, like we just finished a tour of 8.
Yeah.
And we've had them up to 15. So, but we don't do bus loads of 30 and 40 people. It's just too much. All 3 of us run the tours. Plus, we have a private driver that drives the van.
Yeah.
And we just got a new van. We're so excited about that.
Yeah.
Very comfort, reclining seats, more room for everyone. It's wonderful. But yeah, it's still small enough that I saw in Tennessee, you were driving right up to the beach.
All the way. Yeah. We still haven't lost or touch.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about finding a giant parking lot to park it in, because it's still a van. But
and it's enough people that we still feel like we can meet each one of them and remember them and their names and their faces, and be able to provide the follow-up service that we would
learn their
stories
so we can help them with the follow-up.
Yeah.
So that's what I find so important. Like I find I want a minimum 30-minute to an hour conversation with each of our guests on the tour, to learn their story and what they need and what they're looking for. But anyways, that's who we are. We are happy expats in Panama, and we're going to begin our Q&A. So we want you guys on our group just grew, and we got a ton of questions. So as we say, you can ask us anything. Please type your questions in the comments section, but we would like to meet some of you tonight. And all that means you're going to come on screen. We're going to see you, and you're going to ask your question through your microphone. So we can make that all happen. You have to ask for it. So if you just type the word live in the comments, we will activate that. We will let you know that, hey, we're going to invite you, and then you will come into the studio with us. So let's get back to the 32 new comments. What's that?
You have a new keyboard.
Well, isn't that nice?
Nice.
Look, you can't get food in there. Okay. Megan always looks at my keyboard when we're sharing a thing, and there's bagels and coffee and smoothie
like
all
somebody
over
get
it.
me a wet wipe or something.
So I had to buy a new, what do they call them? I
A
don't
little
know.
boy Noah will do better job taking care of that
Yeah,
keyboard.
Noah can eat his food in front of him. Okay.
We have so many comments coming
Yeah, I
in.
got to go back to the beginning here, guys. And we're going to get these comments on the screen. But please, we'd like to meet you guys. If there's anyone here, hey, Deborah, if there's anyone here that lives here already, would like to meet you too. And just say a few words about where you live and why you came here. Even if you didn't come with us, we don't care. You're here for a reason. You're following us now.
Yeah,
There's got to be a reason you're here.
our followers, everyone on the Q&A and that comes on our tour loves to meet people that are already here or are going through the same process because you have a lot of the same mindset and questions.
Well, here's the thing. Even if it's some of you in watching us right now, potentially are already in Panama, but maybe didn't know the relocation tour, maybe you came on your own, it's okay. We're still here. We can, if for some reason you still need some assistance and maybe you think we can facilitate for some situation, reach out to us. Yeah. We're in the same shoes. We're here as a foreigners, as expats, trying to make a happy life in Panama. So we're watching our backs. That's what we try to do.
Okay, guys, we are officially in Q&A mode. No more comments in the comment section unless it's a question or we will delete it. And
just helps us get to your questions faster.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Are there places that rent recreational vehicles? Once we're living there, we're wondering if there's a way to more to see. Well, Kevin, you guys, it's a totally different culture here, and camping is not part of that. We have 2 RV parks, campgrounds, one in Panama City and one in Boquete. And the one in Boquete is just not. There's nobody that like we were there 2 days ago. There's not one trailer
every
there
once
right
in a
now.
while.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Every once in a while, it's not. It's camping is not a thing. So no, they don't have RV sales here. You can't buy a trailer
or rentals,
or no, they definitely don't have rentals. Like you can't even buy if you wanted to buy a motorhome or buy a trailer. No, that doesn't exist in Panama, unfortunately. Yeah. It doesn't really exist in most of Latin America.
However, sometimes there is. For all their travelers or expats that bring theirs in the but
they're trying to sell it.
There are few times, very few.
Because there's not. I mean, if you want to get it, if you say you bring it all the way north here, that's like the end of the road. Unless you want to ship it on to Colombia, there's no road from Panama to Colombia.
But seeing like we're going to encourage you, Kevin. We're going to encourage you guys to travel this country. But in the smaller towns, the basic hotels, you can go to places like Panama, $56 for a decent hotel. Like you can travel around and stay in hotels.
I think people also don't realize how small Panama is.
Yeah.
Like it's a 7-hour drive from Panama City to Boquete.
Yeah.
Or 8 hours to the Costa Rica border.
Yeah.
And that's where most of the areas are that people want to live within that stretch. I mean, there's a little bit that people that go north of Panama, really barely any that go east. Of Panama City. So, yeah.
But hotels are reasonable, food's reasonable, gas is cheap now.
All the budgets. We have all the budgets, all the needs.
Yeah.
You want to be fancy? Got fancy.
Hey, Ruth and Harvey, how are you folks? Do Canadians need an American bank? If so, how do we set one up? How do we set up a mill? Okay, 2 great questions. I'm going to do the banking one. Do you need an American bank? No, but definitely get a U.S. dollarized account. All Canadian banks allow you to have a U.S. dollarized account. Some of them will even allow you to have a credit card tied to that. That prevents you with the exchange fee markups that the banks continuously charge. And honestly, you guys know I'm a Canadian. They're robbers. I'm sorry. I hope no Canadian bank managers watching. They like to take an extra 2-3% off the exchange rate every time you use your card. So it's a good idea. If you want to get a U.S. bank, it used to be really simple. I have 2, but I got them 15 years ago. I could just drive from Vancouver down to Blaine, Washington, open up a bank account. All I needed was a passport and driver's license. So, but now it's a little more complicated. But you can go, take a drive into the States and as a Canadian, but they're going to want a little bit more information from you. But the only reason why I'm saying you need some U.S. funds, if you're going to send money to Panama, Panama's currency is pegged to the U.S. dollar. So, you don't want you won't lose anything in the currency exchange if you send money from your US dollar account to your Panama account. Megan, how do we set up a mailbox, etc. account?
Yeah, so you can just get in touch with any mailboxes wherever you're going to be living, their office in person or email or phone call. And if you want to do pay as you go, then they will just give you the address that you and your special unique identifier number that you put your name on, and there you go. You just start sending stuff, and they'll let you know when it's in the office and how to set up the app on your phone if you want to have that. If you want to have a monthly plan that gets you a little bit better rates, if you're going to be getting a good amount of packages every month, then you can give them your credit card to be able to pay monthly. And yeah, it's pretty simple.
If you are going to be in the Boquete area, reach out to Megan or myself, and we'll gladly send you the manager's name if you want to talk to him directly. But
yeah, he's bilingual.
They have 36 different locations here. I just put their website, and you can register right on their website too. In any of the other locations, it shows you all the different locations that they are located in. We recommend mailbox, etc., especially at the beginning for your important mail. When I say important mail, I get the argument from people, well, I can just get it digitized. Well, not your bank cards or your credit cards or stuff like that. You want somewhere where you can send important stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
You just skipped one from Tina. What is tipping policy?
Oh, there we go. Perfect. Go ahead.
Tina asks, what is the tipping policy for eating out or tours? So I would say average tipping in Panama is 10 to 15%, although we usually always tip up at least 20% for good service. So yeah, average would be 10 to 20% for restaurants, hotels, tours, anything that you would typically tip on in North America. I mean, if you're a foreigner, they probably will expect you.
Also, like, it's very personal. Like, sometimes if you're doing a tour and your tour guide did a phenomenal job, you felt like, even or your waiter, your waitress, make it an impact experience. Like, I usually take even more than that. So it's very personal when it comes to that. So you gotta kind of judge the situation, your experience, and also what was the cost. If you thought, oh, it was so affordable, I can totally spoil this guy to show the appreciation. But that's very personal. But like Megan said, 10 to 20% is what is expected.
Yeah, it's not like as huge of a tipping culture like in North America, where we tip for everything from taxis to haircuts. Like, Panamanians aren't tipping on everything here, but it is more expected of foreigners than we usually do.
Okay. Someone mentioned we're sounding better. Which is our new company giant microphone that picks up. You can probably hear the rain now too, because I never thought of that. It's every week cold. I thought it was our sound. We've upgraded our studio with lighting and computer and stuff. So, okay, I'm in the wrong.
We get a lot of emails. There's a comment on here about watching this later. So we live stream to YouTube and Facebook. Channel. Yeah, and all of our Q&As are on our YouTube channel, and it's all in a playlist. So Rod's gonna pop that in the chat in the comments for you guys, so you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And it's not just Q&As. We're doing expat interviews and coming up with more fun stuff to put out there for you guys too. So definitely subscribe to our YouTube. Rod's gonna drop it in the chat.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. So, and also, our YouTube channel has 5 years of Q&As. But if you're looking for the most current, just click on live Q&As, the subsection, and you will find the most current one will be today's. So I'm posting our YouTube channel, but before you do that, it is imperative that you click on subscribe. A lot of people are scared of the word subscribe. All it does is when your browser's open, sends you a notification. Retired in Panama is doing a Q&A tonight. You should join. That's all.
Or they
Or-
posted a new video.
Posted a new
You don't
videos.
have to give your email out. We don't get your email. We get nothing. So please subscribe and
No spamming. No spamming.
you will get notifications. Okay. There we go. Let's go. A lawyer in Panama charges $1,900 to open a remote bank account in Panama for U.S. citizen. Hey, JP, how are you doing? Number one, get a new lawyer. And number two, if you, I don't know what you mean by a remote bank account, but if you're not here yet, then you're not in the process of Panama, we can't advise you that you can even get a bank account here. Because some banks and some lawyers will, but honestly,
That
if he's
sounds
charging
sketchy, to be honest.
if he's charging $1,900, someone else is part of that, and we don't want to be part of that. The Governor of Banking 2021, Google it. Governor of Banking Panama, January 2021 announcements. You'll find to open a bank account in Panama, you must be a resident. You must be here in person. It's it.
Yeah, very
So-
simple.
And you don't need a lawyer to open up a bank account. We help all of our guests open a bank account, and it's very simple. You don't need a lawyer. You just need, we have friendships with bank managers, and we just say, hey, I got a guest, Carol so-and-so, arriving tomorrow. She's going to ask for you. And then the manager says, thank you, Rod. Thank you, Oscar. So that's how
For
you
that
open a
amount of
bank
money, you
account.
can fly here and back and make sure it's done the right
yeah,
way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but definitely you need to be in.
And if you want to buy us
resident.
dinner when you're here, you have enough money left over to do that.
But the other thing is that you need, just to clarify, you need to be a resident, or the lawyer, when it got us in place, the lawyer has to give you a letter that you are already in the process.
Yes.
Meaning you already have put money and you're already in the process to get the residency card.
Now, I can tell you, I've known this has happened because you see it on Facebook all the time. My funds are frozen. You know why? Because they use the service like you were talking, JD, there. You need to be in a residence, like
Yeah.
Oscar says. You need to be here in person. And
The bank account
That's
needs
it.
to remain active.
yeah.
So
and-
if you're
yeah.
not here and the bank account isn't active, they're going to freeze it anyway.
Yeah, within 3 months, it's going to be frozen anyways. But why I can't advise people to open up at banks that allow less than the governor of banking says, because they can freeze your account. They're not going to steal your money, okay? But they can freeze your account until you come here and claim it and figure out why you even have a bank account. Okay, let's go. Next question.
For the lifetime retirement income CPP for Pensionado Visa, is it true that the new government has made a change? Is it now 1,000 instead of gross?
Cynthia, that is something that is up in the air. The new government has not made an official change. What happens in Panama, we mentioned it, Oscar's mentioned this many times. Every time we get a new government, all the heads changes. And when all the heads changes, all the shoulders move different ways, and no one knows what they're doing. Right now, there's one person in immigration that says it's on net, but it's on other one says it's on gross. But the problem is, not all documents they're getting from every country says the same thing. Some countries only give the net. Some countries only give the gross. So everyone's confused right now. So we're in a 3 to 6 month state of confusion. We've not. Our lawyer says they're still looking at the gross number, because that's what your CPP says, and that's what the the Social Security gives the gross number, because you have options like your net is based on your tax income and your income tax, and whether or not you're going to get a supplement for your Medicare, and that doesn't show up in that document. So in here, it's still showing up mostly as gross, even though there's been a couple people not denied where the lawyers had to fight to get it back. But then there's another incident that singles have to show a lease, as opposed to when it used to only be couples. So there are some, Cynthia, there are some changes going on. So there's nothing confirmed 100% yet that they're going to require net. So keep posted. If that happens, you will see that on our website and on our Q&A.
Up
For
until
now,
now, it's been
it's
whatever
official.
it says on that letter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that letter, they're both Canada and U.S. is gross. So
Mhm.
Yeah. For now, it's in the gray zone.
Yeah.
So give it away for the new year, because in the new year, after February, well, February is the carnival, but in the next 3 months, some changes will be start appearing to be effective.
yeah.
And I believe personally there's going to be no for more complicated for retirees or foreign investments.
Yeah. Okay. Next one.
Is it faster and easier to get trying to say friendly nations visa or a pensionado visa? Definitely pensionado.
Yeah. Pensionado is
Yeah.
the easiest, the fastest, the most affordable.
Yeah, third of the price. It happens within 6 months, and
You're done.
pensionado takes 2 years. So, well,
Plus
sorry,
years.
friendly
2 to 3 years.
friendly nations takes 2 years and 4 months approximately. But the big difference is, Alan and Mark, you can't get a work visa with the pensionado, but you can with the friendly nations. So if that's something you're considering,
Yeah.
then the friendly nations is right for you.
Now, being work permit is if you're gonna work for open services for
Exactly.
locals.
Yeah.
But if you work online, you don't need a work permit. If you want to own a business, you don't need a work permit.
No.
As long as you need to do a job,
As long
something
as they're not busting tables.
something like that. Yeah.
All right.
Like being a
Sylvia.
tour guide, for instance.
Yeah.
You need a work permit.
Sylvia, I am a person with 2 dogs. Any advice for locating reliable person to serve as another passenger for my second dog in cabin? Friends and family are unavailable. Yes, Sylvia. First of all, do you live in a nice tropical place or a nice touristy place? And how much do you pay? And I will be happy. No, just kidding. We will come up there and help you. Yeah, Sylvia, I'm sorry. I'm not going to say put this on Craigslist. That's a bad idea. I know. So when you travel with 2 dogs, you can't take 2 dogs yourself in the
Right.
cabin. Like
Yeah.
if I had 2 Gracies, I need to find a friend to bring the other Gracie, right?
Yeah.
So that's the
Can you plan
challenge
your
Sylvia
trip
has.
around when you have a friend or family member available?
Yeah, because I don't know of. We do pet relocation. We do every week. We're doing 1 or 2 pet relocations. I don't know of a service out there yet. Like there's house sitting services.
Yeah.
Like I will fly with you. That's a great idea. We should start a business like that. Maybe
Yeah.
Sylvia, you and I can start that.
We
Just
might.
Pet escort company. That's a beautiful name up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pay for the ticket, a couple of hotel days, and a few $100, and they'll be happy. They fly here, stay overnight, and go home. They
I
get
think
the
anybody
travel.
will want
Yeah.
to come to Panama just to.
But to find that person you can trust is, because you can't even sit next to them because they only allow 1 pet in per row.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, can't help you, but I really hope you do find somebody.
Maybe I can recruit my mom and she'll come down for
There
a
we
visit.
go. If you want to send us,
That
honestly,
is a great idea.
Sylvia, this is an idea. If you want to send us an email, no, you guys remember what our website is, right? retireinpanamatours.com. There's a contact form. You do realize we have dozens of people every month coming this way. And if you happen to be in a city, we can introduce you to a real live person that we trust and stuff. So I'm going to put the contact information. Did I click on contact yet? I haven't. In the chat. And again, you can use this link, folks. Anything that we haven't answered, or any additional things you've thought of. Usually after a Q&A, please expect up to 24 hours for a reply, because I spelt this one that just went wrong, folks, because I accidentally. So ignore the link I just sent and use the second one. I apologize.
There it goes.
So Sylvia, let us know when you're thinking of coming and what city you're flying out of. Maybe we can find you somebody.
Never
And this
know.
will be a test, no charge to you, but maybe we can start a business with the travel partners.
Yeah, so usually people will recruit someone from a family or friend to
We
come with
managed to
them.
get people to share private jets. We should be able to get them to fly with somebody and
Totally.
make a new friend.
Yeah.
There we go.
Russell, if we get local SIM cards for our phones when we take your tour in March, does it change our phone numbers or do they stay the same?
Yeah, you get a Panama number, Russell.
Mhm.
So if you want to keep your number, if you need people still phoning you and texting you, you need to talk to your local supplier and get a roaming plan put on for the days that you are in Panama with us. And then you'll have data and you'll be able to answer your phone.
Or
If you want to make direct phone
Yeah.
calls and texts.
or you get the Google Voice.
Well, that's a temporary thing. Well, it's not a temporary thing, Oscar, because
It's more
they're
permanent.
coming on the tour. They're not moving here yet.
Okay,
So you
so
can't
yeah, the
switch it
easier is
back and
just
forth. So either a SIM card and you tell people, a lot of people are, will shut their phone down for a week and put on their voicemail to, we are on vacation. Please send us an email if you need us.
When
But
you
if you're
set up
working, that doesn't work.
When you set up WhatsApp, it will ask you, do you want to continue using WhatsApp with your new Panama number or with your old US number? So you can do that option.
That too.
Just for the weeks to stay in contact with friends.
Some
and family
people,
on your
I'm not
US.
sure if Russell's still working. He might need his phone to, some people
Yeah,
need
I
the
know a
phone
lot
to
of people in
receive
North
calls.
America don't use WhatsApp,
The-
but
the
if you want to
easiest-
use it that way for friends
Yeah.
and family and let them know.
I think the less complicated and easiest is just to
Get a roaming plan.
get a roaming
Even
plan
if it's
for
50,
data
$100
and
bucks.
phone calls.
Yeah.
That is the
Perfect.
first hassle.
Oops.
How many
This-
oops?
Yeah, a lot of oops there. We're looking to convert CAD to USD, Rod. Rich Canada Bank. I'm using Royal Bank with Wise. Why would Royal Bank not? Oh no, you don't. You don't use a bill payee. You send it through email money transfer. It's very simple. I just have it set up on my Interact email money transfer, and there's no fees whatsoever to send from Royal Bank to Wise. Been doing it for several years. Did it actually on Tuesday. So yeah. I've never tried bill pay. I have another service. I use OFX, but that's on the corporate level, and there I can use bill pay. But with Wise, it's so easy because if I send $5,000 email money transfer from Royal Bank to Wise, it's in Wise in 10 minutes. And then I can turn around and send it to Panama within 2 hours. So I can get money here in the same morning between my Royal Bank and Wise and my I think it's time, guys. November. We need another moving money. We haven't done one for a while. Q&A. Moving money from Canada and the US to Panama.
Yeah.
How to do it cheaply. I've got it narrowed down to $38. That's what it cost me to move.
Any amount.
It doesn't matter. Any amount of money. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Good question, though, Cynthia. It gets complicated moving.
We do
money
recommend
around.
to send about 3 months worth.
Yeah, if you can send 3 months of your living expenses, as long as it's under $10,000. I know a lot of you are shocked saying that because a lot of your living expenses in the U.S. and Canada is $10,000, but I just couldn't imagine mine being any more than $2,500. So, why do we see? I see nobody live. Somebody type live and come meet us. Come on.
Yeah, show your faces.
Somebody break the ice. Come on. Don't be shy.
I'm
Don't
just
bite.
cleaning up the questions. Okay.
Might pinch you, but we don't buy.
There we go.
I'm not interested in owning property, just renting. So I have the freedom to return to Canada in summer. I wonder if there are affordable vehicles that I could lease for 6 months. From Emily. Not
No
really.
leasing. You can rent from either a local car dealership or from one of those big guys. It is depending on your budget. What you could do.
Sorry.
Your dogs.
What you could do is probably purchase a vehicle, something that you can get in a good condition. Use it for the 6 months. It will save you some money, and then sell it afterwards. Even though if you, let's say you buy a car for 10 grand, and then in 6 months, if you put, depending if you haven't beat it up, you sell it for $8,000 or $7,000. You still save money,
Yeah.
and you sell the car quick.
A lot of people do that.
So that's an easiest way. So you're making sure you buy a car that is in pristine condition. You use it for the time being 6 months. Make sure the car is good to go. And in 6 months, you can use me. You can use somebody else to sell it for you, and then you can make it at a good price, considering the money you're saving renting a car, and then we'll save money on that. You have freedom. That will be the best.
Emil, like we have friends, Michael, like they been here only for 6 months a year for 4 years. They bought a car the first year. They met friends. They always found a place to store it every year. They've never had a problem. So they bought a car, like not an expensive car. It's in somewhere in the teens, like something very basic but very nice and good. And they just leave it behind, and they leave it at a friend's place. And
someone who will drive it once a month.
Yeah, they'll drive it once a month, or they might well drive it more.
Making sure it's not getting
much cheaper, because you're looking at $1,000 a month minimum.
Minimum.
$900 to $1,500 to rent.
$1,800
more than your
guys.
rent. So it's not feasible to rent a car long term here. For
the
a few
best
weeks,
price you'll get is probably $800 with a local.
Short term, under 1 month SIM card. Okay. Details. The few times I've been there, it's been very expensive. It's $5 a week to get unlimited data in Panama.
That's expensive?
No. Oh, I see. Different people, like if you're in Canada, they want $10 a day for roaming. So if you're here a month, that's $300. That's crazy. But if you're in the States, if you're with someone like AT&T, it's $5 a day. Or you bump up to a $10 extra a month plan, and it covers Central America. Unfortunately, Canadians, I don't think you have a plan that covers Central America that I know. If you do, someone please pop it in the chat so we know. But that's roaming. But if you get a SIM card here and a phone plan, it costs $2 for a SIM card and $5 a week for every 7 days.
It depends. Right? The $5 card can run out if you're like streaming or doing Google Maps all the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It might be more like $10.
Yeah, 10 maximum a week.
But as long as you're using Wi-Fi when you're in your hotel or apartment,
it should be fine. Yeah, if you're trying to stream Netflix 4 hours a night off your data card, it's going to run out. Okay, but for basic use. No, it's for basic use. I'm sticking with the $5 a month.
Your phone does have to be unlocked.
Yeah, your phone has to be unlocked,
and you won't be able to make calls and texts on your US.
Unless
your iPhone. If your iPhone, then when you're on Wi-Fi or data, I think it's just Wi-Fi. You can do iMessage or FaceTime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But everyone here uses WhatsApp, and you'll be able to use that. The coolest thing. I don't have to get a SIM card anymore when I go back to the US. Now that Tigo does the international roaming.
Yeah, well, Tigo and the other guys do it now too. Once you live here, guys, we got to tell you the inexpensive. I pay $22. What do you pay?
27. I think 30 with tax.
And Oscar pays the extreme just because he watches a lot of videos.
I don't know.
Because he wants to.
I'm checking my boy. Come on.
Those prices, guys, include unlimited data, all the phone calls we need in Panama, plus unlimited data roaming for 6 months in the Americas, from Canada to Chile.
Actually, we're going to, when I go to Colombia, visit up for work.
And you don't have to change your phone.
I just maybe have to reset the phone, just kind of catch the Colombian signal, and that's it.
I'm pretty sure it is for plans over $27 a month. Though.
Yes.
My plan doesn't do that because I only go once a year to Canada, so I pay the $5 a day instead, rather than paying an extra $10 a month. So Angie, the answer to your question: move yourself to Panama. Everything will be cheaper. We're just teasing there, of course.
Affordable. I like that word more better. Affordable. A little bit more affordable.
Okay. Our biggest concern in getting your older 12-year dog to move with us. Doesn't he want to move? I think he does. Dave and Sharon, 12 years, 10 years is probably the average in dogs we move. I know the airlines say we won't move your dog over 11 years, but then you see the disclaimer, unless you sign a waiver. Been doing this for 5 years, almost a dog a week, folks. I've never had a dog had any condition being moved, whether it's in cargo or whether it's in the cabin. So, but I do recommend one thing. I only recommend one airline, and easy to recommend because they're the only airline flying from the U.S. from the U.S. to Panama is Copa Airlines. And I can also recommend Air Transat in between from Canada between November and April. They're also very good with dogs. Now, the key is with Copa Airlines, United no longer takes dogs in cargo to Panama. American no longer does dogs in cargo to Panama because they failed miserably. Copa always has it set up. They're set up in the U.S. They only fly dogs out of Miami, Orlando, New York, and Los Angeles right now, and they're set up for them. Those can be hot places in summer. If it goes over a certain temperature, they won't move the dog. But they have air-conditioned vehicles, air-conditioned spots within the cargo. When they arrive here, if you ever look out, watching the plane, if you got a good window seat, you can see the first vehicle that arrives at a plane is not for your luggage. It's the air-conditioned van that takes off the live animals, and that's in Copa Cargo. They have a place which I visited myself that the van goes to. It drives inside, and the dogs are taken out, or whatever animals are on the plane, and they're in air-conditioned beautifully, where they go through their paperwork and they figure out what terminal they're going to, what doctor they're going to see. So they have it down pat. So there's not really a concern there. So if you guys want to, again,
unless it's small enough to go with you.
Yeah, if your dog's under 20 pounds with the carrier and isn't really tall, it can go with you on the plane. But age is not a factor, because if it's over 11, all you have to do is sign a waiver. If it's under 11 and there's an issue, you can sue the heck out of the airline. But it just doesn't happen. When airlines are responsible, like I have found Copa and Air Transat to be handling pets, you just don't have problems. United wasn't responsible. They had a plane 6 years ago, I think it was, that sat on a tarmac for 6 hours, and they had some problems with pets. And since then, they pretty well have had an embargo moving pets internationally, which means they're just not allowed to. So again, just posted, contact us page on our website. If you want some assistance with that, we can certainly provide it. The week of Sylvia, you're flying out the week of December 16th from Florida.
All
wonderful.
Right. I'll let my mom know.
There we go.
She wants help with the dog.
Let's see. We're meeting a couple tomorrow night that are flying out from Florida, that are moving from Florida. We'll see if they're coming back.
Or maybe some guests
February.
coming on our tour.
Yeah, I know.
Or no, that's after. I
Hey,
think.
do you want to bring a puppy and make $200? There we go. Or they might just love puppies.
We'll see what we can do.
Okay. I would say no, Lexus. If you already have Central American coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are so many different plans, Lexus, that we can't keep up with them. Honestly, we know what's offered here in Panama, obviously, but there's so many plans throughout the U.S. and Canada, like dozens and dozens. So that's what we always tell our guests when we meet with them a couple weeks before the tour. Check with your carrier of what you have. First of all, how important is it for people to get a hold of you at your existing number? If it is, check with your carrier.
And also, just double check that Panama is in the Central America according to your company.
Exactly. Good point.
Just to clarify that.
Some people think Panama's in South America.
Some people.
I know, yeah.
No, seriously, some people
I know. And The other thing is, it's not a long-term solution, Alexis, because when you get roaming data in Panama, you get grade B data. You're not going to get our LTE. You're typically going to get 3G and 4G.
She didn't mention data.
Mhm.
You're just saying calls. So you need to see if you're going to have data as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's so that you can use apps and internet and all of those things too when you're out and about.
Yeah.
Another thing she said that I wanted to mention. Oh, most phones are just one SIM card. Some allow 2 SIM cards.
Yeah.
But it's more rare.
Yeah. Most phones you buy in the US and Canada will only have one, but many of them offer the eSIM now, which you can also get in Panama. Okay. Who's going to come say hi? Type live in capital letters in the chat. I have retirement savings and will be selling my condo. Can I buy myself an annuity? Now, Brenda, this is a great question. Now, I'm not going to say 100% no, annuities don't work for the pensionado visa. Why I'm not going to say that? Because some private pension plans call their pensions an annuity. But what you're talking about, no, that is not accepted. It has to be a pension for life where the administrator, I'm talking the top dude, Presidente, like somebody up there, will sign a notarized document saying that this pension is for life. That is required. The only time that's not required is for Social Security and Canada pension, because the Panama government understands it's for life. But let's say you have a pension with Joe's Flower Shop. You worked for them for 30 years. You paid into a pension, and you're going to have to get a signature from whoever is managing that pension saying that your pension is for life. You can't get that for an annuity that you set up for yourself because they won't accept yourself as the signature.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, I just found out we just had a guest get accepted with an annuity, but it was with they were with a soft drink company, and you had the option of putting your money in a pension or annuity, but the annuity was locked in for life, and they could still get a letter. So there's a possibility. But self-directed annuities are no. What are you laughing about?
I was just yawning, but
Who is yawning?
Annuities, they're so exciting. Wow, being retired and having a pension is exciting.
Yeah, I would like one.
Oscar, do they still have off-road motorcycle tours?
Yes, I've been wanting to do one of those. So
we did one a little while ago.
Yeah,
before COVID, I think it was.
Yeah, I did, and it was still was one of the best days of my life.
You still show off the wounds.
I don't have any wounds. Right? I just have a weird crack in my neck, but that's it.
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. No, the dirt bike tours is a company. It's called Jarvis. I believe it's the only one doing it.
They're called enduro tours.
Yeah, enduro tours. Enduro off-road. Dirt bike. But anyway, they have different levels, and they do custom tours for groups, for private. So they have a brand new motorcycles right now. So yeah, they still do it. And if you want to come down, let me know. I'll join. I'll definitely join.
Okay. Question from Darlene. If you open up a bank account in Panama, can you access it on your computer? Online banking in Panama is the same as US and Canada. You can pay your bills on it. You can send money to your friends. We're going to give you an example. Oscar, log on to your online banking. We're going to put it live and send me $500. No, we're not going to do that. Okay. I thought I would try that. So yeah, it's the same, guys. Great online banking. So yes, you can do it when you're out of the country. I've had no problem with out of the country detection with my online banking. But when I do travel, I do send my bank manager a notice that I'm going to be in the US or Canada or Colombia or whatever with my bank cards.
My Panama banks and my US banks, I access all of them from the apps on my phone.
Yep. Yeah, they got apps. Some of them even have English apps,
Mhm.
which is important to some people. Darlene, I wonder if that would look like your bank account is active even though you might be out of the country. No, active logging in doesn't make it active.
It's a
It has to
movement.
be a transaction.
Mhm.
But it's as simple, Darlene. You need to just get a friend down here and every 3 months send them $20. Then 3 months later, they send you $20. It doesn't cost you anything. Or if you happen to have a place down here, you can pay your electric bill every month with it.
Mhm.
So as long as, or you can walk to an ATM and bite down that $6 fee and take out $20.
In a foreign country.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
you can do it in Canada. You can take out money from your ATM, or another great account. This is what my bank manager told me. Oh, in your account, open up two accounts. Open up a savings and checking, and then right from the ATM, you can do a transfer. That doesn't cost you anything if you're out of the country. You can transfer $20 from savings to checking. Go back again, or you can do it online. Any transaction keeps your bank account active. Okay. If you're out of the country, yes. Can you, if you access your online account, do transactions, the bank, yes. If you leave your account, Darlene, for more than 3 months, some banks it's 6, find out, talk to them. Don't forget, we've been doing this for 13 years with hundreds and hundreds of people. So we have had people gotten locked out of their accounts before.
We'd
So-
rather
I have.
be on the conservative side.
Oscar's even
I
had.
have.
Well,
Yeah.
we have accounts we forgot about, like that we just don't use anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we all rent. And we've lived in many different rentals. And I think it's given us the freedom to really try out all the different neighborhoods,
Yeah.
figure out our favorite place,
Mm-hmm.
really also get to know the market well and like know what's a good price, what's a good area, what we like, if it's quiet or not. If it's, we obviously run a business, so we need to be somewhere accessible. Not everyone needs that.
Yeah, Megan and I we're looking for a forever home, but we're still looking for the right place.
Oscar and I actually are probably looking to buy soon, since we are, a young family and looking for something to, have our kids and a place for the family in the future. But
I'm looking for a place I can have my main cave, my bat cave, and my bar, my disco, my casita, the swimming pool,
they don't have that.
waterfall, and
So, Stefan, great question here. But 50% of expats that move here, and I'm using that number. We can use these numbers because we've helped hundreds of hundreds of expats move here. So we know which ones are bought and which ones are renting. So we can use those numbers here. 50% of them rent, but they're paying, the ones that rent are typically paying $500 to $1,000 a month.
yeah.
Like I spend $600 a month rent. I don't worry about property taxes. I don't worry about my water bills. I don't worry about the trash pickup. I don't worry about my major appliances. I don't worry about
major
anything.
maintenance.
Like any maintenance. We got a roof leak. Oh, that's got to be fixed. I don't worry about any of that. Like you can't, like back in Vancouver, my property taxes were were double that. So it's just irrelevant to me. Like I've looked now, I turned 60, and now I can start pretty soon in 5 years, start taking my pensions. I'm probably not going to buy here. I don't have any kids. And typically, like you see that a lot, the singles and the ones that don't. So, I don't need to own property in another country. And once I start receiving my other pensions, it's totally irrelevant. Rent. Oscar and Megan, they're a young couple. Like it's very common in Latin America for the first home time buyers is not when you're 21. That is, honestly, Stefan, to me, that's stupidity. Because most 21-year-olds can't manage their money to begin with, and then they get into mortgages they can't afford. Now, these guys now are, financially in great shape. They don't owe anybody any money. and maybe they can start looking at something and buy something for build for their future, and they have kids to give their homes to, and 60, 80 years down the road, you guys going to live to be 101. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, also
so that's
to
why we
these
personally
guys
on
gonna
our
move
side,
out with us eventually. So
well, yeah, like really, when I'm 90 and I need around care, I'm not going to move in an old folks' home. I'm moving into their home.
I would
So-
say that generally across Panama, like the housing market is pretty slow and steady. So it's also like for maybe in the retirees who just move here and buy something and maybe don't think about it that well, if they want to sell it in the next 5 to 10 years, like it's not like they're going to make a ton of money off it like that. And it might even take a little while to sell. So for us, we have a longer timeline. And I'm really happy that we've lived here for a long time and we really know that we love the area and what areas we love at this point.
Oh, Stefan, I do want to mention the people the expats that move here and buy, they're buying with cash. They're not getting a mortgage.
Yes.
It's just not going to happen. So now that we've been here this long, yes, we would qualify for a mortgage. We work here. We earn the money. We pay taxes here. But for an expat, if you want to look for a mortgage, you're looking at 50% down with a 6-month turnaround trying to get your mortgage. So
you can't have a mortgage over 75.
Yeah, and your mortgage, 70, some banks are now. Yeah, between 70 and 75. So if you're 65 and you're looking to get a mortgage, it's just not going to happen. Okay. Yes, eSIMs are now available with our 2 major phone suppliers, Tigo and Mass Mobile. Quarantine period, yes, there is. Your dog or cat must be home quarantined for 40 days. What that means is the dog or cat must be kept indoors except for pooping and cannot be around any other animal. It can stay in your yard if you have a fenced yard, of course, but it can't be around any other animal for 40 days. And Oscar,
it's not as extreme as you think
by
it is.
Minza, they did checks in Coronado last week. Yeah,
something new.
Yeah,
they weren't new at doing that.
Yeah,
Coronado is close by to Panama City.
Yeah,
so it's hard to. It will be like a lot.
You have to fill out and pay $130 for home quarantine, which I always thought was a money grab because they never really check. But now they're starting to do some checks. Mm-hmm.
And like gonna last. But anyway, we better to be safe than sorry.
$7.50 a day for phone calls. Yeah. Mary, AT&T has a plan that they don't charge you if you don't use it, so that's interesting. Last minute questions. Oh, and I pronounced my name, Emil. Yeah, I think I've seen your email and stuff. Okay. I have TELUS from Vancouver business account. They can't use it all over North America. Okay, perfect.
Beautiful.
Okay. Yeah. Snowbird 5 months. Many people do that, but you can't get a driver's license. Yeah, yes, you need to get a visa. But why wouldn't you, Judith, if you qualify for the pensionado? If you qualify for the pensionado visas, you're going to spend $2,000-$3,000 for the whole process. And you're going to save, when you're here, most rentals charge you electricity. You're going to save 25%. You're going to pay 25% on all your restaurants.
Uh-huh.
You're going to save 25%. Once you
Those
get here,
discounts are
hotels,
because you can
Flights.
fly one way once you have your residency, and then you can start booking your flights back home and back here at a 25% discount.
Also, probably
Within
a lot
2
of
years,
bank fees too, because now you'll have a Panama bank account with your residency.
and on top of that, you have a plan B.
So you will
Residence in another
save within 2 years with your pensionado visa. You will save as much as you spent getting the pensionado visa. Okay. Yeah, making a studio watch. Hey, John, watching from Venice, Florida, 2 hurricanes. I want to talk to you, Florida people. I want to bring this up for one reason, folks. Maybe a little bit of self-promotion, but it's not. We had, we all know what happened with the hurricanes in the States. We got Florida, Carolinas, and all the other states. Major destruction. And it just means that we had 2 cancellations, and from people directly affected by the hurricane. So, we know it was serious. Like they got to clean. Luckily, it was not major destruction for them, but it's still cleanup for them.
Yeah.
And still major costs, and they're not going to come till next year now. And our hearts go out. Like we were watching this on the news the other day, and just the destruction. So you guys that are in that area, all I can say is we don't get hurricanes. I couldn't see myself going through it twice. What you guys went through, you guys are tough.
Yeah, very tough.
Yeah.
I can only appreciate the being out there and having those homes and dealing with the danger of the hurricane if you are there, but also like losing your material stuff and sometimes people risking their lives. And it's a tough situation. I can't even comprehend to be in something like that.
We do feel really lucky to not live in the hurricane belt, and really not many natural disasters at all.
No.
We have a few light earthquakes a year typically, but nothing major.
No, I personally spoke to our 2 guests, 2 couples that had to cancel their tours, and they're moving here because they don't want to be in that hurricane belt.
Yeah.
And we one was even a late cancellation, but of course we're going to respect that. Like obviously they're coming now in April. So but they're moving here because they just want to get out of that. So
understandable.
Anyways, we sent out a notice. The 1 spot was taken, but we have 1 spot in November. But if anyone is interested in coming, because we're sold out till March, but
there's a couple spots left if anybody wants to grab them.
Yeah, only the one. The one in December just went, so we got one in November, in 3 days. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Follow up, Sim. Where is it? $5 a week. All prepaid plans are $5 for an unlimited 7-day card in Panama, and that's Tigo Mass Mobile. And when I say unlimited, as Megan says, isn't quite unlimited, but it's unlimited based on normal usage. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so it's $5 for a card, prepaid card,
and $2 for a SIM.
There's no way you could be charged anymore. I don't know how. Like you say, you got Gringo. I've never been Gringo.
Maybe if you bought it at the airport, it'll be a little bit.
Oh yeah, if you bought it at the airport and have someone sit there and install it, they charge you like $25.
Yeah,
for that same week. But you go to any convenience store, any corner store, pharmacy stuff,
grocery store.
But you got to, learn a little bit of Spanish. Torreta, 5 Balboa, por favor. And
it's called saldo. Saldo.
Yeah.
Saldo.
Mm-hmm.
You just go there and say, hey, que sopa mi friend, can you give me some $5 de saldo? No?
Okay.
Imagining people looking back on this YouTube video and practicing that.
Madeline, $3,800 a month. Cost of living in New York is like what is the cost of living with this income? Now, $3,800 a month. You could live anywhere in Panama. You could live downtown, waterfront, ocean, on high rise. You could live in
a pretty good budget.
4-bedroom, possibly penthouse along the beaches area.
Yep.
You could live in.
It's a very healthy budget.
Yeah, Valle Escondido, the most exclusive gated community in Chiriquí province.
As we say in Panamanian, it's very yay.
France. Oh, we're gonna say hi to these guys. Okay. I got. Hang on, France. Oh my goodness. I think she left already. Now she just typed in France and we missed it.
She said live.
Oh, there we go. If you're still here, come on and join us. You got to accept yes and yes to your microphone and camera, France. They're coming here in a month. We've been helping them a little bit. They were on the November tour, and then remember they ended up coming early. So
let's take this Susan question while we're waiting.
Yeah. Sharing a private plane, I assume, to your pets. From Florida, it's typically Fort Lauderdale seems to be the closest place because they got a lot of private airfields. And the typical cost is about $13,000 each for two, or $9,000 for three. Now, if it's 3, it's typically going to be at least one single with their dog, maybe 2, because these are 6-seater aircrafts. And there's got to be room for the animals. Friends, if you're coming, I popped a message onto your screen. And it says, would you like to share your microphone and camera? And you got to say yes.
Let's scroll to the bottom, see if there's any last questions.
Last questions, and we are out of here, folks. Sorry now if we missed anyone. At the very end, they want to go live. Yes, Dubai. We have, I can't tell you the absolute best. Like, I can tell you the best attorney, but we can recommend you. JP, please look in the chat right now, fill out a form, and ask that question there. I will personally introduce you tomorrow to the #1 real estate attorney in Panama.
And immigration.
Yeah. Well, his partner's #1 immigration, but he was specifically asking for a real estate attorney.
Yeah, they're the best.
Okay.
Well, we're getting into
We
the end
are
of this
done,
Q&A.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry we didn't get to see France. We'll meet you soon
Yeah.
when you're here.
Yeah. Mary, it's $1,000. We are done. All the questions are gone through.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Perfect
barely.
timing.
Yeah.
Well, we're a little over time. It hasn't kicked us off yet, so that's good. We welcome you guys. Don't forget, you guys want to come with us? We're Hoot. November 14th, 15th, somewhere around there, like a month from now. We do have a spot for you, a single or a couple.
Yeah, we have a single couple, and
then look after March.
Look
Come
after
with
March.
us.
We very want to thank you, each one of you, for your time, for following us, and we hope that every single information we're providing is useful and valuable to all of you. And keep following us on our YouTube channel. If you haven't done a tour, if you're considering to do a tour, we are your best choice. Confident and say this, and we'll make sure you have a beautiful experience about Panama and learn about what it is about to potentially live here.
And well taken care of.
You're well taken care of, yes.
Right on.
So,
Mary, yes, I know you're coming in June, Mary, and yes, that's $1,000 more than I spend here a month. So you're doing well.
So everyone have a great, beautiful evening.
Thanks for joining.
Bye, guys.
See you next week.
Later. See you, Cynthia.